Part 24. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 231. Asking in the Valley of Swords. The geniuses of the Xiao family gathered together and waited quietly for Xiao Xian to give instructions. The first to arrive were Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Qingyuan, and others. Samsara, Mushin, and Tathagata followed closely behind. Xiao Zhangtian, Xiao Yan, and other geniuses arrived almost at the same time. When they all gathered together, Xiao Xian was still fishing in the creek behind him. It seems that this time the war has no impact on him. But the genius of the Xiao family was already impatient. This time the Human Slayer Alliance is looking for trouble. It is a perfect opportunity for them to stretch their muscles. In the last development, some talented people from the Xiao family were sent to the human world to help. Therefore, I missed the wonderful hunting moment and felt regretful. This time, even Xiao and Xiao Yi, who were practicing millions of stars away, hurried over. I'm afraid of missing this hunting moment. This is not only a verification of their strength, but also a way to benefit the people. Why is the head of the family still fishing? People outside think that our Xiao family is easy to bully. Xiao couldn't help but be a little anxious, fearing that he would not be brought with him in this battle. The head of the family has been rumored to have died. This tone is really intolerable. Although everyone knew that Xiao was deliberately irritating the generals with his words, none of the Xiao family's geniuses made it clear. Instead, he continued following Xiao Xiaoxio's words. Yes, the head of the family is so powerful and mysterious, yet he is rumored to be the enemy. Xiao Jiangxin looked at the Xiao family's genius with a smile on her face. Soon the genius of the Xiao family responded to Xiao Jiangxin's words. Even Mutian, Tathagata, and Samsara couldn't help laughing. Since the last war, they all went to the secret realm to practice again, and not only did they greatly improve their strength. Even the perception and artistic conception have been promoted, so there is no opportunity to verify it. And this time the Human Slayer Alliance is coming to attack, which is an excellent opportunity. Alas, although I am a quasi-mortal, my master is worse than me. It is really heartbreaking to encounter such a thing. Xiao Yanyao's words made everyone in the Xiao family completely unable to hold back. Just as they were preparing to discuss, a majestic momentum gradually approached. Everyone looked up and saw a white figure slowly appearing in front of them. It was Xiao Xian. In an instant, the genius of the Xiao family looked serious. Xiao Xian was also very helpless towards these geniuses. This time the Human Slaughter Alliance has been hyping up the news of attacking the Xiao family. I'm afraid it's not as simple as it seems. Xiao Xian looked at the Xiao family's genius with an indifferent expression. Xiao Tianyuan and others looked at each other and looked at Xiao Xian with doubts on their faces. What does the head of the family mean by this? The remnants of the Human Slaughter Alliance are not enough to cause trouble. We can completely eradicate them as long as we attack. Yes, Patriarch, now that the quasi-immortal has been targeted by those people from heaven and unable to move, why is Patriarch still worried? Xiao Jiangxin couldn't help but step forward to echo Xiao Tianyuan's words. The other geniuses of the Xiao family obviously feel the same way. But Tathagata, Mutian, and Samsara smelled something different. The Tathagata took a step forward and chanted the name of the Buddha. Amitabha, it has been many years since the Human Slaughter Alliance was founded. Even though it is dead, it is as skinny as a camel and is bigger than a horse. With the accumulation of the Human Slayer Alliance, it would not be difficult to fight to the death with others. Mutian has always been keen on this kind of thing. Since the Human Slaughter Alliance has launched a war this time, it must be able to catalyze or strengthen its strength in the short term. After hearing this, all the geniuses of the Xiao family also understood the seriousness of this matter. The last time they joined forces with the three parties, plus the help from Renjian and Zheng Xiaoshu. It was too easy to kill the headquarters of the Human Slayer Alliance, so they also forgot about it. Since its creation, the Human Slayer Alliance has not been in existence that can be slaughtered by others. Otherwise, the powerful heavenly era would not have been disintegrated. At this moment, the geniuses of the Xiao family also had solemn expressions on their faces. Then how should our Xiao family respond? Is it possible to let them continue to run wild? Yes, now the whole world is talking about the crusade of the Human Slayer Alliance. Such things can be tolerated, but they spread rumors and falsely claim that the head of the family has been enthroned. How can this matter be tolerated? Just for this breath, we must eradicate it. For a time, the entire Xiao family's geniuses were discussing with indignation. Xiao Xian remained silent in response to everyone's speeches. After several lives and deaths, he no longer cared about his reputation. However, from the discussion of the Xiao family's genius, he came up with a way. Since all the heavens think that the master of our family has passed away, why not use his plan to catch them by surprise? The hearts of everyone in the Xiao family were agitated, and they couldn't help but secretly look forward to what Xiao Xian said about the unexpected method. Soon, everyone in the Xiao family was amazed by Xiao Xian's method. Since the heavens have spread the news about my master's enthronement, why don't I make good use of this opportunity? Leading the Xiao family to another level, not to mention, the family level has increased since entering the heavens. I haven't been promoted yet, if I can kill the remaining members of the Human Slayer Alliance this time. It has always been easy for a family to be promoted to a 9th grade aristocratic family. As for the enthronement of the head of the family, then let them see how powerful I am after I am dead. After listening to Xiao Xian's story, everyone in the Xiao family couldn't help but sigh. The owner of the house usually doesn't take action, but when he does, he hits his vitals. Then Xiao Xian waved his hand, and the jade pendant of the family leader appeared in his hand. Everyone in the Xiao family will obey the order and use all their strength to kill the remaining members of the Slayer Alliance. As soon as the head of the family comes out with the jade pendant, the mission will be accomplished. I will obey the instructions of the head of the family. Everyone in the Xiao family responded in unison. Mu Tian came out and led Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and others to attack as the main force. Samsara goes out and leads Xiao Zhangtian, Xiao Jinjian, and others to protect the retreat. Be careful of fish that slip through the net. The Tathagata came out and led Xiao Qingyun, Qin Yuer, and others to save the common people and let them put down their butcher's knives and become Buddhas immediately. I will obey the instructions of my master. Then the geniuses of the Xiao family came out one after another, turning into golden light and disappearing into the sky. Just after the genius of the Xiao family left, Xiao Xian also received a piece of cold news in his mind. Ding! It has been detected that the host has issued a large-scale mission to destroy the remnants of the Human Slayer Alliance. Prevent the creation of a new alliance of human killers. As mortal enemies, the two sides have reached the point of life and death. Only when the other force completely disappears can it be calmed down. After completing the task, you can get generous rewards. Large mission released. Control the top quasi-immortals of the Human Slayer Alliance so that they cannot participate in the war. Successfully complete it to get a lot of generous rewards, and you can also get a quasi-immortal insight. Ding! It has been detected that the middle level of the Human Slayer Alliance is catalyzing the titled Emperor and its own strength. Once the catalysis is successful, it will bring unimaginable harm to the host and the heavens. If you successfully block it, you will get a drop of quasi-immortal blood. Xiao Xian couldn't help but be shocked. Quasi-immortal enlightenment and quasi-immortal essence and blood actually appeared. This is a reward that has never been given before. The quasi-immortal perception can help him realize the immortal immortality faster. The quasi-immortal essence and blood can even help him forge his physical body. Even without using magic, you can easily destroy a galaxy. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 232. He also didn't expect that the rewards given by the system would be so generous this time. The top leaders of the Human Slayer Alliance have been restrained by the quasi-immortals from heaven. There will be no problems with their actions this time. Even this catalyst is not something to be afraid of in front of him. Ding, it has been detected that the quasi-immortal of the Human Slaughter Alliance has been restrained, and we will now reward the quasi-immortal with insights. There is a 20% chance that the newborn baby in the family will be born with innate immortal roots. Xiao Xian curled his lips and smiled with satisfaction. Xiao Tianyun is the only one in his family who has the aptitude for immortal bones. And it's acquired. As for the innate immortal root qualification, this is the first of its kind in the family. Sure enough, the higher your strength, the more advanced rewards you will receive. Time flies, and hundreds of years pass in the blink of an eye. The three forces of heaven, Buddhism, and hell issued a wanted order. Make every effort to track down the location of the remaining members of the Human Slayer Alliance. Anyone who finds any clues and reports them will be rewarded with a large amount of resources. And the identity is kept confidential. When necessary, the three parties will also ensure personal safety. Under this premise, the Human Slayer Alliance changed several times and finally launched a war 100 years later. The king's army issued a general order in the heavens and agreed with the three parties to fight in 10 years. Heaven, Buddhism, and the underworld readily responded to the challenge. However, at the same time the general's order was issued. Wang Jun led a group of members of the Human Slayer Alliance to the Xiao family on Fengpo Star. This scene instantly attracted the attention of all the forces in the world. Didn't this king's army agree to fight against the three parties? Why attack the Xiao family first? The head of the Xiao family, Xiao Xian, has passed away. The Xiao family is already a headless bird. No matter how terrifying the Xiao family's genius is, it is not worth mentioning. By taking down the Xiao family, you can get the secrets of the Xiao family. And the treasure of Xiao Xian's breakthrough. I didn't expect that he would come up with this idea. I'm afraid this wishful thinking won't work. This fat piece of Xiao family is closely watched by countless people. Although Xiao Xian is said to have passed away, there is no real evidence. Otherwise, those established forces would have left in full force long ago. Is it his turn? Not necessarily. Since Wang Jun dares to come to attack the Xiao family, it proves that there is a quasi-immortal behind him. So, the Xiao family is already in Wang Jun's pocket. All the beings in the world are constantly discussing this. Wang Jun, who led everyone to the Xiao family, was staring into the distance with an indifferent expression. How much time and effort have I spent over the past 100 years to get the remaining members of the Slayer Alliance together? But the Xiao family and the three parties have repeatedly blocked my plan, causing my plan to be postponed again and again. Even most of it went down the drain. Xiao family. Heaven. Hell. Buddhism. Just wait for me. Although Wang Jun didn't show any signs of anger on his face, he was already filled with anger in his heart. At the same time, the Xiao family also sent Xiao Yanyao to lead a group of Xiao family geniuses to fight. As long as I live in this world, I am invincible. If you come here, I'm afraid you won't lose your life. After hearing Xiao Yanyao's words, everyone in the Human Slayer Alliance showed hatred. One of them stepped forward and uttered wild words. Xiao family, please listen to me. If you take the initiative to seek peace, we will keep your whole body. If you don't underestimate your own strength and fight with us, you will only die. When Xiao Yanyao heard this, he immediately raised his head and laughed. It's just you. You're not qualified. No matter how powerful the Human Slaughter Alliance is, it can't defeat the Xiao family in the slightest. The Xiao family only existed for a short 1,000,000 years. It can kill the headquarters of the Human Slayer Alliance, and its strength is far superior to them. What's more, there is a mysterious and extremely powerful family leader Xiao Xian. Even a powerful person like Patriarch Hung Jun has to respectfully call him Taoist friend. How could the minions from all over the world get into his eyes? The man snorted coldly, completely angered by Xiao Yanyeo's gesture. His power suddenly exploded. A terrifying momentum of the great emperor rose instantly. A long knife swept across the sky, cutting through the sky and heading towards Xiao Yanyeo. I saw Xiao Yanyeo brandishing the Chifeng spear in his hand. A terrifying and boundless gun power suddenly erupted. A silvery spear intent burst out instantly. Above the sky, silver-colored spear intent and blood were mixed together. Gives people a visual impact. A great emperor on the 5th level was instantly killed by a quasi-emperor on the 4th level. All the creatures in the world couldn't help but gasp. Even if Xiao Xian dies, the terror of the Xiao family's genius is still frightening. Wang Jun's pupils dilated instantly. Obviously he didn't expect Xiao Yanyeo to have the strength to kill the emperor. At this moment, Xiao Yanyeo's arrogant voice came again. A mere 5th level emperor dares to fight with me. Even if a quasi-immortal comes, he will still be the dead soul of my gun. What a loud tone. As expected of the genius of the Xiao family, he dares to say such arrogant words. Wang Jun was furious at this moment, and his power suddenly exploded. Kill towards Xiao Yanyeo. The mighty power of the emperor burst out uncontrollably. The boundless momentum resounded throughout the sky. The black robe agitates, the sky changes color, and the situation changes. The terrifying power of the great emperor continues to wreak havoc in the sky. He couldn't help but look at Xiao Yanyeo angrily. How dare a mere quasi-emperor utter such arrogant words? I came here today to show you a clear path. Since you don't appreciate it, don't blame me for being cruel. As soon as he opened his mouth, Xiao Yanyeo was fully equipped. The head of the family said, "Don't beat him to death. It's not impossible to pretend to be dead when the time comes. You're just a great emperor. I can kill you with 3 shots." As soon as Xiao Yanyeo said these words, Wang Jun was completely angered. Suffer death. I saw him yell loudly. A fishy wind swept across instantly. The terrifying storm carried countless silver hooks. The immortal shield in Xiao Yanyeo's hand merged with the Chifeng spear, turning into a huge black iron. Attract the silver hook's tail coefficient. All the living beings in the heavens were completely shocked when they saw this. Is this okay? An unexpected terrifying battle, that's it? Damn it! This genius of the Xiao family is so unreasonable. Xiao Yanyeo held the black iron in his hand and quickly turned around with his feet as the center, throwing all the silver hooks and tails on the black iron to Wang Jun. Wang Jun couldn't resist and was directly beaten to death. All the creatures in the sky looked at this scene. However, Xiao Yanyeo put his hands on his hips and smiled. Interesting, interesting, a half-step title emperor. Will he be killed by his own killing move? And I only used 10% of my power. Sure enough, I am already extremely powerful. As soon as these words came out, all the sentient beings in the world immediately smelled something different. But I can't tell what's wrong. At this moment, Xiao Yanyeo rose into the sky. The Chifeng spear in his hand stabbed straight towards the corpse of Wang Jun. This strike, with its overwhelming power, caused thunder to roll around. A terrifying aura descended upon Wang Jun's body in an instant. A black mushroom cloud exploded instantly. The entire heaven fell into a state of silence. But, a horrifying scene happened. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 233. The black mushroom cloud gradually dispersed. A burst of angry sneer came from it, making people shudder. Ha 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 ha. Everyone turned their attention to the figure behind the black mist. I saw Wang Jun's whole body exuding black mist, and his body size instantly increased several times. At this time, Wang Jun's eyes were full of murderous intent, and his whole body was bursting with a terrifying aura that soared to the sky. Xiao Yanyo, put yourself to death and live again. Thank you for allowing me to be reborn. Over the past 100 years, Emperor Duobao, Emperor Fenjian, and Emperor Calling Rain have continuously helped him break through. Finally helped him break through to the peak of the titled Emperor. Only half a step away from reaching the quasi-immortal. However, his original physical body could not bear his power, so he needed a chance to be reborn. Hey, I thought that the catalytic titled Emperor only existed in legends. I never thought I would see it with my own eyes. It seems that I am indeed invincible. Even the titled Emperor has to rely on me to kill him in order to break through. Xiao Yanyeo's words made everyone in the heavens laugh. It was also the first time for them to see the catalytic titled Emperor. But the strength it catalyzes is terrifying. It is no less than Xiao Xian's fusion back then. Without saying a word, Wang Jun was so angry that he came towards the sky with a strike. You dare to be so arrogant as a quasi-emperor, die. Boom. A terrifying aura erupted from Wang Jun and pointed directly at Xiao Yanyeo. However, Xiao Yanyeo didn't care at all, and a peachwood sword flew out from his body. An unparalleled courage was released instantly. Wang Jun's terrifying blow was gone. Then a terrible blow went directly towards Wang Jun's body. An accurate and peak sword attack. Humph. You are not overestimating your own abilities. Wang Jun's eyes focused on the peachwood sword. The peachwood sword instantly turned into a stream of flying ash. Wang Jun looked at Xiao Yanyeo with angry eyes, and a terrifying aura fell from the sky instantly. The next moment, the faces of the onlookers suddenly changed, and they looked towards the sky with shocked eyes. The peak of the titled Emperor. Countless people exclaimed that in a short period of time, it catalyzed a great emperor from the 8th level to the peak of the title of Great Emperor. This is something unprecedented. As the only son of Emperor Duobao, Wang Jun's strength and talent far exceed those of his peers. Even the quasi-immortals of the Human Slaughter Alliance look upon him with special eyes. Presumably the catalysis this time also had the help of the quasi-immortal, otherwise how could I have thought of putting myself to death and surviving? It is said that Wang Jun is more ruthless than his father, and he will use any means. This Xiao family's genius may not die happily. Without Xiao Xian in charge, the Xiao family is really vulnerable. For a time, the eyes of countless people flickered. Everyone expressed regret towards Xiao Yanyeo. Xiao Yanyeo's expression also changed drastically, and a trace of fear appeared on his face. The top of the immortals, proud of the world, beheaded by the invincible hand in the world. Take my shot. The constitution of the emperor's holy body prevented him from even escaping. The main purpose of Wang Jun's invasion of the Xiao family this time was to get the Xiao family's treasure. Emperor Duobao and the other two great emperors helped him reach the peak of the title of Great Emperor. But it stopped there, so they asked the quasi-immortal above and learned that they needed to put themselves to death and live. The most important thing is the lack of a medium. A medium that can help him transcend. It happened that the master of Tianji Pavilion killed the intelligence traitor and obtained a hexagram. Give it to the media in the Xiao family. According to the tips from the master of Tianji Pavilion, Wang Jun and Emperor Duobao made plans overnight. Finally found out what the master of Tianji Pavilion meant when he said that the medium was in the Xiao family. Since the founding of the Xiao family, the family's fortune has been extremely great. Even when the Human Slayer Alliance was first founded, it was not 1/10 as good as him. If it exists like this, you can make it your own. If the heavens are swallowed up by him, can they still be far behind? Hearing Xiao Yanyeo's words, Wang Jun sneered. He looked at him contemptuously, a mere quasi-emperor, how dare you speak so wildly in front of me? Do you think you are still the Xiao family with Xiao Xian in charge? Even if I kill you today, no one can save you. After speaking, he waved his hand, and a terrifying aura that covered the sky filled the sky. A giant hand came directly towards Xiao Yanyao. At this moment, Xiao Yanyao waved the Chifeng spear in his hand again. Then he shouted to the Xiao family behind him, "Master! Help!" Wang Jun hesitated for a moment, and then remembered the information he had collected. The look he looked at Xiao Yanyao also had a cold and murderous look in his eyes. Haha, Xiao Xian is about to die, I'm afraid he is powerless. The Chifeng spear's attack was directly disrupted by Wang Jun, shocking countless people. Seeing that this big hand was about to fall, it was heading towards Xiao Yanyao. At this moment, a golden ray of light flew from the Xiao family's residence in an instant. Wang Jun suddenly noticed something was wrong and his eyes shrank. At the same time, a figure in white slowly appeared in the sky. The power belonging to the peak of the titled emperor burst out instantly. The white-clothed figure only glanced at the powerful figure. Boom! The next moment, in the incredible shock of countless people, the giant hand turned into ashes. Xiao Xian! Ha! But even an afterimage dares to do anything in front of this emperor. You are overestimating your ability. Wang Jun looked at Xiao Xian's figure coldly, with sinister eyes. The figure in white smiled calmly, just a shadow can crush you to ashes. After speaking, he pointed out. In an instant, golden light flowed on the fingertips, as if countless worlds were flowing. Pieces of ancient galaxies were shattered, and endless explosion sounds continued to reach our ears. With the power of one finger, suppress the common people. I saw that wherever this finger passed, pieces of space collapsed. The heavy heavenly restraints were also ignored, and golden streams of light condensed. It makes all living beings in the world fear. The peak of the fused titled emperor is so powerful. It's so terrifying. A muffled groan reached everyone's ears, causing a huge wave in an instant. I saw that the power of that finger sank directly into Wang Jun's body. The latter's body was continuously impacted by huge force, and finally fell heavily to the ground. A huge pit of 10,000 meters suddenly came into view. In the huge pit, Wang Jun's body had become a bloody mess. The power of one finger shocked countless people. They are both titled emperors, but there is such a big gap. Wang Jun has long heard about Xiao Xian's power, and when he saw it today, he was really powerful. So what if your afterimage can severely injure me, your only remaining breath? How long can you protect the Xiao family behind you? Stop this emperor, can you stop the human slayer alliance behind me? Facing the power of Xiao Xian's finger, Wang Jun was willing to admit defeat. But that doesn't mean he just gives up. No matter how powerful Xiao Xian is, he is just a person with half a foot in the 6 realms of reincarnation. Even if there is a remnant left in the Xiao family, it is just a temporary measure. Seeing Wang Jun's threatening words, everyone couldn't help but focus on the afterimage of Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian was unmoved and looked at the other party with an indifferent expression. Who told you that this emperor is an afterimage? Boom! As soon as these words came out, the hearts of all the beings in the heavens were shocked. Could it be possible, Xiao Xian has already passed away? Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 234. Ha 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 ha. Wang Jun even sneered, Xiao Xian, since you have already passed away, why should you let your soul suffer like this? If the Xiao family is gone, it will be gone. Why bother letting yourself be remembered by others? To know this ray of your soul. It is excellent nourishment for titled emperors and even pseudo-immortals. At this moment, his eyes showed a strong look of greed. At this point, he stood up proudly. Today's Emperor is already a half-step quasi-immortal. He only needs a medium. Then you can break through the shackles and become an immortal. By then, among all the heavens, I will be the strongest. Even if the quasi-immortal comes, I am no longer afraid of his existence, let alone the titled emperor. Speaking of this, his eyes showed strong arrogance. This is his heritage. It's his confidence. Then Wang Jun looked at Xiao Xian with a half smile but not a smile. Xiao Xian, I admit that even if you are just an after-image. With my current strength, I am no match for you. However, after I break through the immortal, you are just an after-image, how can you defeat this emperor? If you stop here, this emperor may also consider leaving the whole body of everyone in your Xiao family. You can also choose to continue to fight against me. You are not afraid. After all, you are just a ray of soul. But you have to think about your descendants and don't do bad things out of good intentions. Having said this, Wang Jun looked at the other party with contempt, waiting for his compromise. For a moment, everyone's eyes stopped on Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian is now a remnant soul, no matter how powerful he is. He can't withstand such a powerful enemy, not to mention that there are millions of descendants behind him. However, everyone in the Xiao family looked at the sky with a joking look on their faces. At this moment, Wang Jun was like a clown. The head of the family is so powerful, how could he be manipulated by you like this? Does this Wang Jun really think that the head of the family has passed away? It's really ridiculous. If you don't want to know where his hiding place is, why would the head of the family waste so much energy confronting him? For a moment, the entire Xiao family's genius wished that Xiao Xian would kill this arrogant person immediately. At this moment, Xiao Xian's figure moved. He looked at Wang Jun coldly and spoke calmly. Since they are descendants of my Xiao family, their purpose is to die strong and not live in humiliation. Hearing this, all the creatures in the heavens were stunned. No one thought that Xiao Xian would really not care about the life or death of his descendants. I never expected that the Xiao family's rules would be so strict. Xiao Xian, it seems that you really want the genius of the Xiao family to be buried with you. In that case, I will grant you permission. Wang Jun looked at Xiao Xian with a gloomy expression, gritted his teeth and said, Emperor? So what if a catalytic entitled emperor becomes an immortal? But it's something that can't be put on the table. Xiao Xian said lightly. Then he continued, what is standing in front of you is just a thought of this emperor. But a thought makes you so afraid. Even if you become an immortal, you are just an ant under my feet. Wow! As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Obviously, no one expected that Xiao Xian did not die. What? No. You think a few lies can scare me away? Wang Jun's eyes widened in disbelief, with deep astonishment in his eyes. If you haven't died before, why don't you fight with your true body today? It's just a tactic to scare people. Xiao Xian smiled faintly, to kill you, I only need the power of a single thought from this emperor. My true body does not appear here, I am just going to trace your hiding place. As soon as these words came out, Wang Jun's heart trembled. He did it so secretly that no one could possibly know. Humph, where is the emperor's hiding place? By you. You are overestimating your own abilities. You can't find it even if you're not dead. Xiao Xian didn't explain, but saw a huge picture appear on the sky. In the picture is a gloomy ancient forest, with a white figure suspended in the sky. It was Xiao Xian. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. Obviously they didn't expect that Xiao Xian was really not dead. The real body even went to where Wang Jun was hiding. For a moment they all held their breath. Impressively, it is heaven, underworld, and Buddhism. Wang Jun looked at Xiao Xian's thought with disdain. Even the thought power in front of me is so terrifying that it makes people shudder. Didn't the three parties agree to start a war after 100 years? Is it because of Xiao Xian's appearance? The three parties actually took action at this time. You mean, Wang Jun still has a backup plan? Yes. Rumors. There is no substantial evidence from the beginning that Xiao Xian has passed away. No, after the title of the Great Emperor reaches its peak, one can still concentrate mana. The stronger the mana, the easier it will be to break through the shackles of the quasi-immortal. Xiao Xian, so what if you find my hiding place? Do you really think you can destroy it? Apparently this forest was blessed by a quasi-immortal. And the forest exudes a terrifying fairy atmosphere. The immeasurable power of terror hit him instantly. At this moment, three parties suddenly appeared on the screen. The leaders were Mutian, Samsara, and Buddhism. Protected by a thought barrier from a quasi-immortal, I'm afraid you can't defeat him. Wind Slope Star. The momentum of Xiao Xian in the picture is already at the peak of the title Emperor. Black mist fills the sky, shocking people. Xiao Xian is not dead. Where did the rumors from the heavens come from? Suddenly, waves of invincible momentum were transmitted. Wang Jun's voice continued to echo in the forest. No, the royal army's surprise attack may have allowed the three parties to see his true purpose. At this moment, Xiao Xian in the picture was looking at the forest in front of him with an indifferent expression. You think you are just a thought and I am the real body? Humph. In the dark forest. Yes, the magic power of Xiao Xian in the picture is probably 1,000 years old. Wang Jun looked at Xiao Xian with a look of determination. I didn't expect you to appear at the same time as the three forces. Then we'll see. Xiao Xian looked ahead indifferently, unmoved at all. The three mighty emperors led the crowd into the air instantly from behind. At this moment, the sound of fleeing birds and animals kept coming from the dark forest. This scene shocked everyone. Could it be that they still have an ambush in the dark forest? If the Human Slaughter Alliance just wants to devour the Xiao family alone, why bother spending so much money? It seems that I still underestimated you, but now that you are all here, I save my time. I'll catch you all today. The next moment, there were violent winds and rain. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 235. Boom. The next moment, the two forces are ready to make a move. There are two pseudo-immortals in the Human Slayer Alliance, and they possess the power of a quasi-immortal thought. Can resist all attacks below quasi-immortal. Those who resist will be killed if touched. Therefore, even if Xiao Xian can kill the pseudo-immortal, he cannot resist the power of a quasi-immortal's thought. Looking at Xiao Xian's figure in front of them, their eyes showed a proud look. Their faces were even more arrogant, as if they were the final winners of this war. The leading pseudo-immortal raised his head and laughed, looking at Xiao Qingyun who was wearing a mask. With an obscene glint in her eyes, Qingfeng Immortal, this Buddhist female master is really an icon. Even if I can't see the appearance, this eye-catching figure still makes my blood boil. Hey, such a hot little lady, I'm afraid I can't bear it. The other pseudo-immortal couldn't help but licked her lips. This is the Namo Medicine Master Glazed Light King Buddha of Buddhism. He has the ability to save all living beings. If there is no difficulty in conquering him, how could that deserve her title? I wonder if it will make people want to stop after being stripped naked. The greed in the words of the pseudo-immortal is even more naked. When the person next to him saw this, he couldn't help laughing. For a moment, the entire members of the Human Slayer Alliance threw their heads back and laughed. He even used words to insult Xiao Qingyun. Even Qin Yu next to her will not let go. It is said that Guanyin Bodhisattva has the ability to give birth to children. I wonder if it can be enjoyed by the boy under me. Xiao Qingyun's beautiful eyes were filled with murderous intent. At this moment, she couldn't help but want to fight them. At this time, An ultimate sword light burst out from Xiao Xian's body instantly. The expressions of the two pseudo-immortals on the opposite side changed when they saw the sword light on Xiao Xian. There is a faint aura of quasi-immortal. Although they are just pseudo-immortals, they still know the threshold of meeting quasi-immortals. So I am very familiar with this breath. That's the kind of momentum that can only be unleashed after gaining the quasi-immortal enlightenment. Xiao Xian has already achieved quasi-immortal enlightenment. As long as there is an opportunity, you can transcend immortality. Quasi-immortal enlightenment, the two of them couldn't help but widen their eyes and looked at each other in horror. They are not afraid of any powerful enemy below the level of quasi-immortal. But you can't be careless about a titled emperor who has a quasi-immortal understanding. At this moment, the terrifying sword power instantly turned into two extreme colors that merged together. At the same time, the two pseudo-immortals on the opposite side also erupted with terrifying momentum. The two of them did not dare to be careless with Xiao Xian, so they were ready to release their quasi-immortal telepathy at any time. The momentum of the two locked Xiao Xian into the field. And this aura is vaguely connected, as if he has practiced some combined attack skills. Seeing this, Xiao Xian understood why the two of them spoke so boldly. The two of them join forces, even if they are rivals of pseudo-immortals at the same level, they will not get any benefit at all. Just when Xiao Xian was thinking deeply, the two people above the sky burst into laughter. I have long heard that the master of the Xiao family has great skills. It is a blessing for my two brothers to be able to compete with you today. Xiao Xian gathered his thoughts and looked over. The man had a sallow face and thin muscles, but his eyes were bright and lively. If it weren't for the vulgar words spoken by the two of them just now, no one would be able to associate them with treacherous people. The man standing next to him had a fat head, big ears, rat eyes, a tiger nose, and a monkey mouth. He was indescribably weird. Xiao Xian glanced at them lightly. In that case, let's get started. However, the two men looked at each other, obviously having other plans. Master Xiao, why don't you go to Tianweishan to fight? Seeing Xiao Xian's silence, another person echoed, if the Xiao family master is worried about us leaving. If you are going to take action against your genius, how about setting up a barrier? The two pseudo-immortals were much more polite at the moment, which made one have to doubt their ultimate purpose. Xiao Xian has confidence in his geniuses, except for these two fake immortals. The rest of the people, in their eyes, are not difficult things. So he headed to Tianweishan without any nonsense. Wang Jun, the peak of the 9 heavens of the titled Great Emperor, was catalyzed by Emperor Duobao, Emperor Calling Rain, and Emperor Fenjiun. However, the pseudo-immortal smiled confidently, "Humph, so what if you are in the sky at this moment? Why would you come here to negotiate with the head of this family? How could I, the head of the family, not know what your wishful thinking is? Prosperity, wealth, executive salaries, and high-end resources are endless and inexhaustible." Stepping into Tianweishan, Xiao Xian discovered that there was another person there. We can only come up with this last resort, and we hope that the Xiao family master will not be surprised. Shoot the first bird. Although the headquarters of our Slayer Alliance has been slaughtered, the top management is still there. Break through the shackles. Create another body and feel proud and transcendent. Achieve the strategy of controlling the heavens. The Xiao family master is indeed very insightful. In order to successfully complete the Slayer Alliance plan, there is even a quasi-immortal in charge. No matter how powerful you, Xiao Xian, are, you can't possibly fight against the quasi-immortal. Xiao Xian smiled sarcastically, quasi-immortal? If quasi-immortal could move, how could the headquarters of the Slayer Alliance be slaughtered? When the two of them saw this, they didn't hide it. The moment he saw Wang Jun's figure, Xiao Xian used his insightful eyes to check. Xiao Xian raised his eyebrows in surprise. The two pseudo-immortals looked at each other and smiled, with a triumphant smile on their lips. The purpose is to delay time until Wang Jun can transcend the immortal. One of them is to hope that the Xiao family will not interfere with the re-establishment of the Human Slayer Alliance. With the help of a wisp of the quasi-immortal's soul, one can quickly attack the immortal, but lacks a medium. It's just that he has a quasi-immortal mind power on his body, and non-quasi-immortals cannot spy on his aura. And that person is Wang Jun. And the highest person in charge of your Xiao family is only half a step emperor. We have a titled emperor. In this way, the three major forces will not target you. Once it is done, the world will share it. The lowest level of cultivation is also the fourth heaven, and the highest one is the peak of the ninth heaven. So what if you, Xiaoxian, rush over? The two of us can also contain you. Therefore, he went to the Xiao family with the intention of seizing the Xiao family's treasure and obtaining the secret of the host's breakthrough. As for the second one, I just hope that the Xiao family can be incorporated into the Human Slayer Alliance, even if they don't intervene. The pseudo-immortal smiled faintly. Those who know the current affairs are heroes. Master Xiao needs to know that. When the two saw this, they smiled faintly. Master Xiao is very happy. If that's the case, let's just tell you. Having said this, he glanced at Xiao Xian proudly. Once the war starts, can you, the genius of the Xiao family, withstand such an offensive? Xiao Xian didn't even raise his eyebrows. What if the head of the family doesn't agree? As long as we can provide a few % of the resources to help the Human Slayer Alliance produce talented people. It's a pity that after meeting him, Xiaoxian, everything will be reduced to ashes. Xiaoxian was too lazy to talk nonsense and went straight to the point. Tell me the purpose of asking me to come up. Xiaoxian looked at the two of them indifferently. If my guess is correct, you two will lead me to the sky. It turns out that he did this trick just to transcend the immortal. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 236. When Xiaoxian heard this, the corner of his mouth raised slightly. You said that the titled emperor dispatched by the Human Slaughter Alliance this time. The lowest level of cultivation also has the fourth level of heaven? Is this true? Could it be possible that I still lied to you? If you regret it now, it's still too late. The man smiled lightly and glanced at Xiaoxian proudly. In his heart, as long as Xiaoxian chooses to surrender, he will be their subordinate in the future. I have to say, it feels so good to step on a strong man who has made all the strong men famous in the world. Seeing him like this, Xiaoxian suddenly looked angry. Who gave you the courage? Even a mere false immortal dares to talk to this emperor like this. Hearing Xiaoxian's words, the man's expression changed drastically. You mean you won't cooperate? Who do you think you are? How dare you ask this emperor to cooperate with you? After saying that, Xiaoxian didn't waste any time and pointed out. In an instant, a sword light burst out. The boundless sword energy went directly towards the throat of the two of them. This change really surprised them. Xiaoxian actually dared to take action against them in this situation. You. The Human Slaughter Alliance will not let your Xiao family go. Xiaoxian, if you act like this, you are not going to let your Xiao family's genius survive. One of the pseudo-immortals had a sullen face, asked coldly, and his eyes became unkind. Another quasi-immortal locked Xiaoxian in his own domain. Xiaoxian turned around indifferently, his eyes falling on the two of them. When will I ask you to interfere with my actions? You don't need to worry about my genius. At this moment, Xiaoxian let them know what it means to be strong. The momentum of one of the pseudo-immortals rose, murderous intent emerged from his eyes, and he came directly to face Xiaoxian. Xiaoxian remained unmoved and stood quietly. as if waiting for the other party to come. At this moment, another pseudo-immortal took a step forward and looked at Xiao Xian with a strange expression. Master Xiao really has to make this choice in today's world. Although we serve the Human Slayer Alliance, but he has the ability to make us live in peace for the rest of our lives. Nowadays, the quasi-immortal aura keeps emerging. The heavens will once again fall into a whirlpool, and only the mainstay can avoid it. Could it be that the head of the Xiao family has a better plan? In other words, the head of the Xiao family also wants to participate in the battle. He looked directly at Xiao Xian, seemingly asking, but in fact he was affirming. The thin-faced pseudo-immortal suddenly widened his eyes and looked at Xiao Xian in disbelief. Obviously he didn't expect Xiao Xian to have such a plan. Xiao Xian became slightly interested in this fat, big-eared pseudo-immortal. Tell me about it. The man smiled slightly. Firstly, rumors in the heavens say that you are sitting in the body, and you are like a god. But not only you, but also the genius of the Xiao family. No one refuted the rumors. From this, it can be seen that reputation is not important to you. Secondly, when you heard that Wang Jun led his troops to invade the Xiao family, but you chose to let the genius of your family fight, and even responded with a ray of thought, making your death a reality. It seems that he is dealing with the King's army and the Human Slayer Alliance, but he is actually waiting. When Xiao Xian heard this, he couldn't help showing an expression of appreciation. Seeing this, the other party continued, I didn't know it at first, but when you are willing to come to Tianweishan with me, I just realized that you are waiting for the top leaders of the Human Slayer Alliance to reveal their true colors. With the current strength of the Xiao family, it may not be able to compete with the top leaders of the Human Slayer Alliance, but it can prevent its development. Wang Jun is the best example. If you succeed in blocking this time, with the temperament of the top leaders of the Human Slayer Alliance, they will definitely try their best to deal with you. At that time, the quasi-immortal who restrain them will also appear. Even if there are 3 or 2 fish that slip through the net, it won't have much impact. More importantly, the head of the Xiao family is absolutely sure to kill him completely. Since the Xiao family was founded, it is a mythical existence. The moment I saw the Xiao family master, I sincerely admired him. Hearing this, the other pseudo-immortal was completely shocked. As expected, all the members of the Human Slayer Alliance are human spirits. With just this clue, you can clearly guess the behavior of this emperor, Xiao Xian praised without hesitation. But even so, the head of this family will not send an invitation letter to you. The man's expression suddenly darkened and he sneered coldly. 2 rays of sword energy appeared directly, cutting through the sky, displaying overwhelming immortal power. Xiao Xian didn't care about this and didn't take the 2 of them to heart at all. It seems that as long as he doesn't say a word well, he will be shocked and killed on the spot. Looking at Xiao Xian, who was calm and composed, the 2 of them became even more angry. They stared at Xiao Xian with their eyes fixed on him. After hearing Xiao Xian's words, the 2 of them were even more furious. This single blow shocked the 2 of them. Xiao Xian's plain voice contained a strong sense of confidence. But there is no high-level strength. If you don't even have a great emperor, how can you compete with other family forces? While breaking through the 2 people's killing moves, they also forced them back. Since we can't be in the same battle camp with him, we can only get rid of him quickly. As soon as these words came out, the 2 people's faces suddenly became ugly. Xiao Xian's power was beyond their imagination. The 2 of them were even more angry, and suddenly their spirits soared into the sky. Seeing how confident Xiao Xian was, he was even unwilling to use the waning moon sword. Unexpectedly, he could even see what kind of skills he practiced. Having said this, he paused, so what if you are a fake immortal? I can kill you if I want. In an instant, an unknown aura flowed through the 2 of them. The other party looked at Xiao Xian and sneered again and again. Since the head of the Xiao family insists on doing this, my two brothers can only be ruthless. What you two practice is the combined attack skill. If that's the case, why not use it? If it weren't for the two of us, I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to move. The genius of the Xiao family is indeed powerful. Since Master Xiao has such confidence in himself, then we and I will fulfill your wish before you die. Form a formation. So what if there is no great emperor? Even if the Xiao family's genius has not broken through the great emperor, with me here, everything will be insignificant. One of them even exploded with his own momentum, and the pseudo-immortal momentum could not be vented. Facing this blow, Xiao Xian remained calm, and then waved his hand. No need to say more, you will know it in the first battle. After Xiao Xian said this, he immediately exploded with power. Two different killing moves headed towards Xiao Xian. The head of the Xiao family has such iron-blooded skills. My two brothers joined the Xiao family to give you someone to rely on. Xiao Xian stood with his hands behind his back. If you can't show your true power, I will not show mercy. At least, you can know how powerful this emperor is before you die. It's your Xiao family's great blessing. Don't be so shameless. Except for the quasi-immortal, I am already the strongest in the world. I will join your Xiao family's team. The boundless wind roared and the sky shook. At this moment, Xiao Xian became a target that must be eliminated in their minds. The stars are broken, and the eternal stars once again enter a new reincarnation. After hearing this, Xiao Xian smiled faintly. Such a blessing is not rare for me, the head of the family. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 237. The next moment, the two people's bodies were filled with cold light that could not help but vent. The Hunyuan formation is interesting. Xiao Xian was proficient in various formations, and he could tell as soon as the two formed in formation. Kill. After forming a formation, the aura of the two men surged. Waves of pseudo-immortal aura instantly shook the sky, and the boundless immortal realm enveloped the sky. This blow is so terrifying that even a quasi-immortal would not dare to be careless. Call out. A sword energy flew past instantly. Cutting through the sky, the sword intent swept across the sky. The boundless momentum rages across the eternal starry sky. A majestic momentum rioted in the air, and a long sword with an immortal aura pierced the sky. Wherever it passes, the stars are shattered and the starry sky is shattered. The sky was shaking, as if it was going to destroy everything. Boom! The sword light fell, and everything became dim. A terrifying sword that makes everyone fear. Boom! The formation formed by the two men broke apart immediately, and they retreated continuously in no particular order. Looking at Xiao Xian with a look of horror and shock. At this moment, their fear of Xiao Xian arose spontaneously. The meaning of the immortal sword. You actually have a magical weapon that can kill the immortal. They looked at Xiao Xian in disbelief. The immortal slaying divine sword can kill immortals from above and all monsters from below. Even just a sword intent can severely injure the immortal. Even the immortal may not be able to understand the meaning of the immortal sword. And the Xiao Xian in front of him was only at the peak of the 9th level of the titled Great Emperor, and he understood it. How is this not shocking? A sword intent. Just a sword intent caused their combined attack skills to break through. If the two of them didn't dare to think deeply. Master Xiao is really powerful. My two brothers have seen it today. One of the fake immortals could not help but clasp his fists and salute. Yes, in today's competition, my brothers were defeated, another pseudo-immortal agreed. Xiao Xian looked at them indifferently. I, the Emperor, did not say that I was competing with you. The expressions of the two men suddenly changed. I have the power of a quasi-immortal in my hand, but you still want to kill me. Xiao Xian looked at him indifferently. Do you think the power of a quasi-immortal's mind is useful in front of this emperor? As soon as these words came out, the two pseudo-immortals were instantly horrified and quickly used the quasi-immortal's telekinesis power. At this time, a force of chaos spread instantly, covering the entire sky. The ethereal fairy aura hit his face. The two ultimate auras merged together, like a dragon. Cutting through the sky, he faced the two pseudo-immortals with an unparalleled attitude. The two pseudo-immortals immediately used their own defensive moves. I saw a two-color dragon transforming into a long sword above the sky. With the sound of dragon roar, it sank into the bodies of the two pseudo-immortals. This scene completely shocked countless people. At the same time, everyone in the dark forest looked at the scene in Tianweishan and were so shocked that they couldn't speak for a long time. The head of the Xiao family is actually so powerful. That's a pseudo-immortal blessed by quasi-immortal thoughts. I can't even take a single move under Xiao Xian's hands. The titled Great Emperor at the 9th level has the strength to kill two pseudo-immortals. It's simply unbelievable. For a while, the entire members of the Human Slayer Alliance were discussing. Xiao Xian looked at all this without any change in his expression. These two pseudo-immortals are good in strength, but have bad tempers. And killing these two false immortals will not only bring absolute deterrence to this war. It can also let the heavens see the terror and absolute strength of the Xiao family. Nowadays, the quasi-immortal auras of the heavens are constantly emerging. Even the Fengpo star has undercurrents, not to mention the galaxies in the upper levels. If you don't want to be controlled by others, you must first strengthen yourself. This time, the battle with the Human Slayer Alliance is the best opportunity. Seeing this, everyone in the Xiao family looked at each other and saw the excitement and fighting spirit in each other's eyes. Finally, they can show off their skills. In the dark forest, Emperor Duobao, Emperor Calling Rain, and Emperor Fenjiun looked at the scene in the picture with gloomy expressions. Xiao family. Xiao Xian. Humph. What a Xiao family, what a Xiao Xian. He actually plotted against our Slayer Alliance like this. Now they even lead troops to ambush us? It's really abominable. Speaking of this, Emperor Duobao burst into endless anger. Send the order and use all your strength to kill Xiao Xian and everyone in the Xiao family. Leave no one behind. How dare a small family dare to provoke us? Pooh. At the same time, Xiao Tianyun's momentum surged into the sky, and the quasi-emperor's 9th level peak energy could not be vented. The Buddhists attacked the dark forest from south to north, and the underworld blocks the escaping members from west to east. It's a pity that you joined the underworld, formed the same faction as the heaven, and were mortal enemies of the Human Slayer Alliance. Xiao Yan's terror is unmatched by the geniuses at the same level. Emperor Huanyu looked at Samsara, who was dressed in white and had a mask on his face, and said, "And this is also the first shot in the Xiao family's reputation in the heavens." At the same time, kill. While Samsara was leading the team forward, they were blocked by a powerful man from the 9th level of the titled Great Emperor. All in all, I want all of these people to stay. The outskirts of the dark forest. Astonishingly, a quasi-immortal has arrived. Guaranteed to be completed, Tathagata and Xiao Qingyun replied in unison. But for him, and even the children of the Xiao family under him, there is no pressure or fear. The one he was fighting against was a powerful man from the 6th level of the Great Emperor. The shouts of 10 people actually made the opponent's team of 1,000 people want to retreat. The power of a flame burst out instantly, burning in the dark forest. In an instant, countless people were shocked. The Great Emperor of Reincarnation created 6 paths of reincarnation, and snatched souls from the Ghost Clan and the underworld. His strength is indeed good. This person is none other than the Rain-calling Emperor. Today you take the initiative to come to the door, let's settle the old and new grudges together. In addition, for this battle, Xiao Xian increased the training resources for the family's children. Samsara, Xiao Zhangtian, and Xiao Jamian moved from west to east, completely blocking their retreat. Soon, Tathagata, Xiao Qingyun took Qin Yuer and others to the dark forest. Xiao Xian's secret message was also delivered to the ears of the Xiao family's genius at this time. As for the remaining members, those who can be saved should be saved as much as possible, and those who cannot be saved should not be let go. The boundless breath of flame surrounded these thousands of people. Before the fighting between the two sides began, the morale of the two sides' troops was affected. As his words fell to the ground, an ethereal aura of immortality erupted from behind him. Just to completely eradicate the grassroots of the Human Slayer Alliance this time. And the Xiao family has various magic weapons obtained in the secret realm. With Xiao Xian's sword killing two pseudo-immortals, the momentum of the Xiao family and the three parties surged. Xiao Xian's voice continued, Tathagata, Xiao Qingyun, our main task is to annihilate Wang Jun and other high-level personnel. Xiao Yan led 10 people to fight against a team of thousands. 10 people faced 1,000 people, and there seemed to be no suspense. The genius of the Xiao family immediately responded, I will obey the instructions of the family master. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 238. Everyone was shocked by this scene. He was actually able to withstand the shadow of a quasi-immortal with the level of cultivation of the titled Great Emperor 9th level. Emperor Huanyu looked at Samsara and the others with a sinister look on his face, although the quasi-immortal cannot come. But it allows me to contain you. Reincarnation, today is your death day. Samsara raised his eyebrows slightly, a phantom dares to speak arrogantly in front of this emperor. Suppressing you can only be done within 3 moves. Humph. If you are so brazen even when you are about to die, then I will let you enter reincarnation completely. The rain-calling emperor raised his brows and sneered, and the quasi-immortal's power directly locked the reincarnation. A terrifying axe light instantly split the sky, broke through the mountains and rivers, and faced reincarnation. At the critical moment, Samsara pointed out a finger. The 6-way wheel of reincarnation appeared under his feet, and the endless power of reincarnation blessed him. An ethereal aura of immortality burst out instantly. What? Countless people were so horrified that they could not speak for a long time. Reincarnation was able to temporarily increase his strength to a quasi-immortal level. Even the rain-calling emperor looked frightened. Immediately afterwards, a golden power of reincarnation turned into a golden light and instantly sank into the body of the rain-calling emperor. Directly kill the rain-calling emperor on the spot. When the peripheral vision faded, Samsara threw his body into Xiao Zhangtian's black coffin. In a short period of time, Xiao Zhangtian's cultivation realm was promoted to the 5th level of quasi-emperor. When the remaining members of the Human Slayer Alliance saw this, they retreated. However, they were blocked by a fat man behind them. Kill them. Anyone who takes a step back will die. In a great battle, the 3 forces of the Xiao family crushed the Human Slayer Alliance with their absolute strength. Go directly into the core of the dark forest. Wind Slope Star. Wang Jun couldn't bear it any longer, and instantly exploded with his own power, killing Xiao Xian. They all held their breath for a moment and couldn't help but stare with wide eyes. Xiao Xian remained indifferent, and in his eyes, thousands of dazzling lights flowed in all directions. Don't overestimate your capabilities. The next moment, the wind is raging and the situation is changing. Immediately afterwards, a terrifying power of flame burned out of thin air. Then the flame quickly rose and touched Wang Jun's body. The next moment, fire spread all over the body, and the raging fire devoured every bit of Wang Jun's body. Ha 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 ha. Xiao Xian, is this all you have? I tell you. A mere flame can only burn my body. This emperor's soul is as powerful as an immortal. In just a few moments, I will break through the immortal. Ha 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 ha. Wang Jun frantically opened his arms and raised his head and laughed, with a ferocious look on his face, and his words were full of disdain for Xiao Xian. Do you think this emperor is doing all this just to destroy the Xiao family? Then you are totally wrong. With my current strength, how can I be no match for you? It's just delaying time. In order to achieve immortality, in order to dominate the heavens. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Wang Jun's face was ferocious, his eyes were red, filled with terrifying greed. I should thank you. Without you burning my body, how could I have attained the enlightenment of quasi-immortality? Don't worry, after I transcend, you, the Xiao family's genius, will definitely be worse than dead. Your soul will also not be reincarnated. Wang Jun's voice kept shouting. Xiao Xian's expression remained indifferent and he remained silent. He watched coldly as the flames on Wang Jun's body grew stronger and stronger, slowly turning into a burning man. At this time, a three-color flame appeared in the center of the flame, and this was also the core of the flame. The fireball spread quickly and engulfed Wang Jun's body. It directly swallowed his body completely. However, the flame did not go out, but burned away the blue-green color of the soul. At this moment, Wang Jun's expression changed drastically. My soul. It was burned by the flames. My true body. It was also swallowed up. No. 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 Xiao Xian. I am an immortal. How could I be burned to death? No. Ah. A shrill scream echoed across the sky from the dark forest. Countless people were horrified and shocked to the extreme. What kind of flame are you, and why do you have the ability to burn souls? I am already a half-step quasi-immortal. The flames of this world cannot cause any harm to me at all. How did you do it? He questioned Xiao Xian, his eyes full of unwillingness. Xiao Xian replied coldly, the true fire of samadhi can burn everything in the world. When the true fire of samadhi arises, eternal immortality, so what if the immortals are immortal, they are nothing but ants in front of the true fire of samadhi. No. Impossible. Impossible, Wang Jun shouted in disbelief. Then let's see who is better. A scream echoed through the sky for eternity, making countless people stare at each other. There were bursts of thunder and lightning in the dark forest, and the sound of thunder continued to appear in the clear sky, resounding through everyone's eardrums. Above the sky, a long knife cut through the sky, appearing in front of Xiao Xian with an unstoppable momentum. The burning of his soul was too much for him to bear, and he could only see him holding his head with an expression of pain. Although Xiao Xian also has thousands of years of magical power, he really has no chance of winning against Emperor Duobao. Re-enter the reincarnation, reincarnate, practice again, the immortal is not far away from you. Along with everyone's discussion, Emperor Duobao tore open the river of time and space. At this moment, he was completely angry. However, what responded to him was Xiao Xian's indifferent expression. Endless Daoyun aura fell from the sky and restricted the king's army. In that case, don't blame this emperor for being cruel. The next moment, everyone looked at the sky in horror, showing disbelief. It only took less than a breath of time. In an instant, it merged with the power of countless worlds and killed towards Xiao Xian. Kill my son, and I will let the blood of you and the entire Xiao family come to commemorate him today. However, his voice was soon swallowed up by the true fire of samadhi. In an instant, the power of time and space were crushed by his invisible pressure. Naturally, they focus on training, and the accumulated mana is unmatched by ordinary people. Emperor Duobao looked at Xiao Xian angrily, and then pointed out the power of one finger. The head of the Xiao family has come to an end. He is actually a titled emperor blessed with 10,000 years of magical power. Wang Jun couldn't care less, he wanted to die together with Xiao Xian. Just when he was about to self-destruct, One of Xiao Xian's big palms fell. At this time, please, please accept this samadhi true fire. I will stop causing trouble to your Xiao family. Xiao Xian smiled faintly, don't you want to transcend the immortal? I will help you. Everyone looked at the scene in disbelief. In an instant, the sky shook, the void shattered, and the entire galaxy trembled. A long sword filled the entire sky with monstrous sword power, cutting through ancient stars one after another. Xiao Xian looked indifferent and held one hand in the void. His majestic momentum instantly overwhelmed everyone. Immediately afterwards, the figure of Emperor Duobao appeared in the sky. Emperor Duobao is a veteran titled Emperor and a senior member of the Human Slayer Alliance. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 239. In an instant, the long sword and the long knife collided together, and endless majestic power rippled. Sweeping in all directions, the boundless sword intent and gun power continuously impacted the void barrier. Above the sea of stars, a bright light appeared, instantly splitting the sky into two. One is a long sword and the other is a long knife. Xiao Xian and Emperor Duobao each occupy one side. The robes were fluttering, and the eyes were filled with a sense of murder. At this moment, all creatures from all over the world were attracted. Originally, they wanted to see how Xiao Xian was killed on the spot. When the two sides fight. But everyone discovered that Xiao Xian's strength was no worse than Emperor Duobao. At this time, Emperor Duobao's eyes were condensed. Obviously, he didn't expect Xiao Xian to have such strength. The strength is good, but it's a pity that you only have the blessing of 1,000 years of mana. The gap of 10,000 years of mana. It's not something you can imagine and compare with. So what if I can leapfrog the challenge? In front of this emperor, there is only death. Boom. A golden sword suddenly appeared in the void. It exudes bursts of chaotic aura, as well as an ethereal state visible to the naked eye. An aura of eternal desolation suddenly hit his face. Everyone was shocked when they saw this scene. It's the immortal slaying sword intent. He actually understood the sword intention of killing the immortal. That is something that even the immortal may not be able to do. This scene was completely shocking. The next moment, the starry sky shattered and the galaxy flowed backwards. The ultimate sword light headed towards Emperor Duobao with the power to destroy the world and devour the world. A sword fell. Boom boom. The whole starry sky was trembling. The stars in the entire galaxy also changed places at this moment. The stars are so bright that it makes people feel like they are on the sea of stars. However, every star is transformed by Xiao Xian's sword intention. The power contained makes people's hearts tremble involuntarily, and they are frightened. Immediately afterwards, Emperor Duobao didn't even have time to react. These stars contained him like a huge force. No matter how much I struggle, I can't move at all. The sword light was like a swimming dragon, carrying the endless bright starry sky towards the face. Under this sword, the bright stars exploded and time stopped flowing. The world entered a state of silence, and the entire battlefield turned into a vacuum. In an instant, he sank into Emperor Duobao's body. Emperor Duobao looked at the long sword that penetrated his body in astonishment. Looking at Xiao Xian in disbelief, how could he, who had thousands of years of magic power, be killed by Xiao Xian? The next moment, the blood and essence of the titled emperor filled the sky. The entire sky was filled with rain of blood, which made people sigh. Countless people stared at the scene in front of them in confusion. They were so frightened that they could no longer describe their feelings at this moment in words. No one could have imagined it. Xiao Xian actually has the ability to ignore the limitations of realm and strength. After several reincarnations, he killed a titled emperor with 10,000 years of power. At this moment, Xiao Xian looked down at the four directions indifferently, standing with his hands behind his back, exuding an ethereal aura. Dressed in white clothes, with her hair slightly raised, she looks like an immortal who is not stained by the world. He looked at the blood rain in the sky indifferently. "You are seeking your own death." After saying this, Xiao Xian disappeared in front of everyone. All the creatures in the sky stared blankly at Xiao Xian's leaving figure. No one expected that Xiao Xian had such terrifying strength. At the same time, the battle in the dark forest continues. The three forces continue to attack, and the two pseudo-immortals, the rain-calling emperor and the Duobao emperor, fell successively. The military morale of the Human Slaughter Alliance has been shattered, and it will be of no avail even if Emperor Fenjiun is on hand. In just a few decades, everyone except Fenjiun Emperor was captured. Under the enlightenment of Buddhism, nearly 3 million men and horses all joined the Xiao family's army. At the same time, the system prompts also sounded in Xiao Xian's mind. Ding! It was detected that the host successfully prevented the creation of the Human Slayer Alliance, and the family's luck increased by 10%. The genius of the family breaks through to the next level without any restrictions. Limited time, quarter of an hour. Obtain immortal root seeds *10,000. Ding! It was detected that the host successfully destroyed the catalytic quasi-immortal plan and received a copy of the quasi-immortal guide. Imperial Court Advanced Training Manual *1, kill Wang Jun and Emperor Duobao, and gain 5,000 mana. Ding! It's detected that the host has completed all tasks and received 10 million redemption points. After hearing the news, Xiao Xian's cultivation level could not help but rise. He quickly accumulated 6,000 mana and felt a breakthrough in strength. Xiao Xian looked up at the sky and saw the faint quasi-immortal aura. Now, he is 60% sure that he can kill a quasi-immortal. But this is not enough. Thinking of this, he exchanged a golden elixir and entered into seclusion to practice. At the same time, with the rewards and blessings from the system, the shackles of the family station's cultivation realm all disappeared at this moment. Everyone in the Xiao family felt the change and knew it was Xiao Xian's cause. I started to meditate on the spot and entered into enlightenment. A quarter of an hour later, there were bursts of thunder and lightning in the sky. A strange sign hangs over the Xiao family. The powerful and desolate aura instantly filled everyone's hearts. It's the Emperor. Xiao Tianyun has broken through the great Emperor. The successor of the head of the family is really not a foregone conclusion, but in just 100,000 years, he has surpassed the great Emperor. This kind of talent is beyond our reach. The only ones who can compare with it are the Empress Xiao Qingyun and the Sword Emperor Xiao Jiangxin. At this time, Xiao Qingyun had already left the Xiao family and rushed to the Nanming dynasty. Use this opportunity to encircle all the countries surrounding the dark forest into your own territory. In just 100 years, the affiliated countries around the dark forest joined in with Xiao Qingyun's strong and decisive thunderous methods. Many of them include the Demon Clan. Take the Golden Winged Rock as an example. The Demon Clan took the initiative to come to Cambodia, and all the Demon Clan are willing to serve as mounts for the senior officials of the Southern Ming dynasty. This decision also shocked all living beings in the world. This day, a strange phenomenon occurred in the sky above the Southern Ming dynasty. The sky was clear and suddenly there were dark clouds. Bursts of thunder and lightning loomed. The power of heavenly laws continues to oppress the people of the Southern Ming dynasty. The wind and clouds suddenly changed, thunder and lightning flashed, mountains collapsed, and the earth cracked, and the stars moved. The power of thousands of thunder and lightning all gathered at the core of the Nanming dynasty. Under the storm, Xiao Qingyun slowly opened his eyes, and infinite power seemed to flash through his beautiful eyes. Almost everyone who looks into her eyes will be shocked. He even couldn't help but kneel down and surrender. This was the Emperor's sense of oppression. Facing such a terrifying vision, Xiao Qingyun looked at the sky with a calm expression. Thunder and lightning fell from the sky, tearing through the dark clouds like a giant dragon piercing the clouds. Xiao Qingyun's figure also shuttled between thunder and lightning at this moment. And her speed was actually a few points faster than thunder. However, the thunder and lightning was conscious and kept striking at Xiao Qingyun's body. Wherever the thunder and lightning passed, the rocks were shattered and the ground was shattered, and there was no life. 99 Heavenly Tribulations. As long as this heavenly tribulation is withstood, the promotion of the Nanming dynasty to the Nanjing dynasty will be just around the corner. A look of determination flashed across Xiao Qingyun's face. Thunder and lightning struck at my feet, like a bloody mouth. The 99 heavenly tribulation is a calamity that only those in the immortal class will experience. However, if she wants to create the Nanjing dynasty, she must endure double the suffering of others. This scene also attracted the attention of the powerful men and women in the heavens. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 240. The great changes in the Nanming dynasty attracted the ancient powers of the heavens to come and check it out. It's actually the 99 heavenly tribulation. It is said that only breaking through the immortal realm will lead to the 99 heavenly tribulation. Could it be that someone is attacking the immortal? The Nanming dynasty is headed by Xiao Qingyun of the Xiao family. She is known as the Empress. Could it be her? How can the Xiao family's genius be so terrifying? This little girl wants to break through the immortal. No, it's not a breakthrough, but promotion. As soon as these words came out, they immediately attracted everyone's attention. Only the king of a country can cause such a celestial phenomenon. It was under this vision that the original Emperor of Heaven created the era of heaven. Could it be that she wants to create a new heaven? Does she have the strength? Let's not talk about creating a heaven. She may not be able to survive even the 99 thunder tribulations. If it were really that easy. Aren't all those titled emperors attacking the immortal? Although it is necessary to experience a thunder tribulation to attack the immortal, you also need to have a quasi-immortal understanding. Only by understanding the artistic conception of the immortal. Only then can you ascend to the immortal. Achieve transcendence and immortality. At this time, Xiao Qingyun was about to face the last thunder disaster, and this was also related to her final outcome. In her previous life, she transcended after experiencing the 49 thunder tribulations, but she died before the 99 thunder tribulations came. If she can't survive this life, then she will never have another life. Thousands of sky thunder condensed into a purple-black thunder and lightning above the head. This thunder and lightning is enough to make a powerful man named the Great Emperor feel frightened. Hit by thousands of lightning strikes, her body was already covered in blood and flesh. The clothes were even more tattered. Although the thunderstorm was terrifying, it could not defeat the perseverance and determination on King Qin's face. At the same time, a golden light suddenly emitted from her feet. It instantly rushed into the sky and turned into a natural barrier. This last thunderstorm was beyond what her body could bear. Therefore, at the moment she broke through the Great Emperor, she set up a barrier to help herself reduce the power of the thunder tribulation. At this moment, it seems that there is not much power to resist the thunder and calamity. Suddenly, a strange color flashed across her eyes, above the barrier. It actually contains a trace of Xiao Xian's sword intent. The white figure suddenly appeared in her mind and broke into her vision. Break through with all your heart, and my master will protect you. Xiao Xian's voice reached Xiao Qingyun's ears, and in an instant, she gathered all her strength to resist this thunder disaster. Thank you, master. Xiao Qingyun, as the genius of the Xiao family, naturally attracted Xiao Xian's attention. But he did not show up, and the 99 thunder tribulation was not a fear to him at all. But for Xiao Qingyun and other geniuses, even if she is the reincarnated empress, it is impossible to shake the rules of the game of heaven. Just like him in the prehistoric times. Xiao Xian was stunned for a moment. Why did he have such an idea? Then he pointed a finger, and a misty breath followed his sea of consciousness and entered Xiao Qingyun's body. Run your dantian and welcome this thunder and lightning with your physical body. This breath can help you reborn. Xiao Xian's indifferent voice surrounded Xiao Qingyun's ears. Not daring to show any slightness, Xiao Qingyun sat cross-legged. In an instant, purple-black thunder and lightning came straight towards him, carrying a destructive momentum that would destroy all living beings. When the two sides collided, a huge mushroom cloud exploded. The peripheral vision swept across all directions, causing countless stars to explode. The residual power of thunder and lightning sank into Xiao Qingyun's body. In an instant, electric current surged through his limbs and bones. And the shackles that had imprisoned Xiao Qingyun for many years were completely released at this moment. Broken, she shouted violently. A powerful might of the Emperor burst out instantly. A long golden dragon jumped up from behind her, and its long roar echoed through the sky. This scene shocked countless people. The cultivation realm of the Quasi-Emperor's 9th level has directly crossed over to that of the Great Emperor. In a few breaths, he broke through to the 2nd level of the Great Emperor. Apart from Xiao Tianyuan, she has the strongest cultivation level among the Xiao family's geniuses. In terms of strength alone, Xiao Qingyun is sure to be tied with Xiao Tianyuan. All the geniuses of the Xiao family looked at Xiao Qingyun with envy. In time, Xiao Qingyun will be the second Xiao Tianyuan. Xiao Xian was also filled with emotion. She is worthy of being the reincarnation of the Empress. She knows how to maximize benefits just by giving a few words. Now her strength is enough to support the founding of the Nanming dynasty. Xiao Qingyun's beautiful eyes slowly opened, and her body was covered with traces of lightning burns. But she couldn't feel the severe pain because her body had been forged stronger by this lightning. When she looked at the white-clothed figure in front of her again, she found that there was no one in front of her. Xiao Qingyun felt a hint of warmth in his heart. This head of the family is really mysterious and suffocating. He obviously has the ability to dominate everything. But he stayed in Zushan to lead everyone in the Xiao family to develop together. If his memory from the prehistoric period had not been lost, I'm afraid he is even more terrifying now. Just one thought can fight against the thunder and calamity of heaven. Thinking of this, Xiao Qingyun shook his head helplessly. This golden dragon is more than twice as big as her own golden dragon. With the dual help of the golden dragon and the imperial seal. Then a touch of black and yellow energy sank into Xiao Qingyun's body. The Nanming dynasty also showed faint signs of promotion under the circling of this golden dragon. Thinking of this, she smiled helplessly again. An emperor's aura of looking down on the world instantly came to his face. Every time I encounter a bottleneck, I can receive Xiao Xian's guidance and resources. It is also impossible to find out Xiao Xian's background and trump card. There was deep excitement in Xiao Qingyun's beautiful eyes. Now 2 great emperors were born in the family. Thank you very much, Master, for the treasure. I am deeply grateful to Qingyun. In the future, Qingyun will definitely lead the Xiao family to a higher level. Xiao Jiangxin also entered seclusion to practice, and the breakthrough to the great emperor was just around the corner. At a glance, one feels suffocated and in awe. A dragon roar sounded, and then streaks of golden luck appeared in the sky above the Nanming dynasty. Now that the Empress is strong enough, it is time to prepare to advance to the Nanming dynasty. Thinking of this, he passed the Imperial Level Dynasty Training Manual rewarded by the system to Xiao Qingyun. This Imperial Dynasty Training Manual can help you solve the problems you encounter when advancing to a dynasty. It is also because of his blessing that this Empress can live so smoothly in this life. She knew very well that what Xiao Xian gave would not be simple. Now she is already a powerful person in the 3rd heaven of the Great Emperor. Maybe this is also her luck to meet someone like Xiao Xian. Then it circled over the Nanming dynasty. The family also never advanced after entering the heavens. Xiao Xian withdrew his exploratory eyes after seeing Xiao Qingyun perfectly converting the power of the 99 Thunder Tribulation. Xiao Xian is too mysterious and scary. Even now she has the Nanming dynasty and Yeyu Palace, and even many kinds of treasures that can spy on people's hearts. It seems that there is still an important factor missing, and this factor may have something to do with Xiao Qingyun's promotion to the southern Ming dynasty. Xiao Qingyun's cultivation realm has broken through again. Only when facing the genius of the Xiao family would he show a smile. It was so scary that she didn't dare to be disrespectful at all. In the darkness, a golden dragon surrounded her. Sure enough, the moment she received the Imperial Dynasty training manual. When he came back to his senses, Xiao Xian's long-lasting indifference appeared in his mind. The moment Xiao Qingyun received it, he also received Xiao Xian's voice. With Xiao Qingyun's strength, this little skin injury was nothing to her.